That's slow. Says we are. Hey, hey, welcome everybody.
Hey guys.
Tonight is Rod with Aquatic Aesthetics, and he's going to give a tour when Ethan is there at Aquatic Aesthetics for backup just in case. And the skipper's here, and the Pam, and let's see who else. Robert has to be off uh, this evening due to work. Susie, as you know, is not feeling well. Ed's out of town. It's everyone, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So let's get there. Sandy Farrell, howdy. There's book there. Sandy's going to be Sandy Farrell. There's Bud.
Okay, something happened to the sound.
Yeah.
There we go. Barely touched the
heard you
camera
just
to
fine,
scroll. And okay, Maria Z.
Yeah.
Somebody's echoing. Let's see. And guys, the mods are posted links there for things of interest. There's Susie Q lurking. Color Guppies. Yes, welcome, welcome. Jerome.
I think she just didn't want to be on the same stream as me.
Evidently. DPK. Merrick. GRB. Petonics Diego. And that's everybody down to the bottom. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get right to this and turn Bob up on the screen. So here we go.
Okay, guys, I think we've got our problems figured out with the phone. I'm going to get the camera turned around here, and we'll start off where I left off last time.
Okay, Rock. My fish tanks.
Okay.
Uh-oh, he touched a button.
There we go. Okay, Alexa, turn on all lights. I think we started having problem with the plant tank last time and over here. So I guess some questions on this tank that we had were what was I going to plant? I don't have a lot in mind right now on that. Certainly like red flame sword. Certainly get some red in there. Some pink as well. But that's the reason for the ADA soil. Otherwise, it'd just be a waste. And I just noticed back there, it looks like I got a little bit of an area of it leaking out into the water. So that's something I'm going to have to fix. I think I showed you guys the stream tank before.
I'm not sure if you have or not.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, since I'm over here, might as well go over it. I built this as we were opening the store. A couple of months because it was just an hour here, hour there. But every one of the rocks is siliconed in. At least the ones there on this little glass box you see. And it's kind of hard to see in there right now because there's certain areas of the glass I cannot clean. But it flows out of there down a little waterfall. My gimbal's not agreeing with me here, so hold on as I try to get it to turn. Hope it doesn't make you all too dizzy.
Yeah, I
We'll
see.
come down over
Yeah, I
here.
see. Yeah, I see.
And this is the last little waterfall before it comes down into the river gravel down here. The plants here, that's a Variegated Taro. It's doing rather well. Not as well as the Janet Gregg, if you remember that one. So, did we go over these tanks last time?
No.
Okay.
What? Back to
so,
that, Rob, back to that tank. Is that a 20 long or 33?
It's a 33 long.
Okay. I was
And
trying to remember.
go a little detail on it.
Yeah.
I built some structure underneath so you can kind of see. It just used greenhouse siding and kind of scissored it together to where it would give vertical structure, and then have that holding up another one that was flat that made the floor of the creek bed. Everything
Nice.
in the back I can show a little easier this way. Just a single pump. Pump water up into the first compartment. Good little deep plunge pool. Fish-wise, what I have in here are mainly minnows, and they're probably in hiding right now. Here's one coming out. These are your standard aquarium minnows. The mountain minnows, I think they call them. My mind's going blank a little bit, but they swim all the way up. They follow the current. Sometimes I'll find them up here in the main plunge pool. Most of the time they're down there in the bottom. And it looks like a vampire crab is out to say hi.
Oh, cool.
That's a rarity to get to see him.
Oh,
He's awesome looking.
yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, he's been in here several months. We can't catch him. He knows not to come out from underneath, and I can never access that compartment besides just reaching in from the end down here.
And what does he eat?
He knows he's safe.
What does he eat?
He eats anything that just floats his way. We tend to get a lot of these snails here. He's probably helping himself to a few of those. And I wouldn't doubt that one bit. And then when I feed the fish in here, I'm sure some comes his way.
He doesn't bother the fish any?
No, I haven't seen him go after the fish. And again, it's real hard to see him anytime. He's hardly ever out.
No.
But we've got several different types of moss that have naturally grown in here on their own. This one here is particularly interesting. I really love this moss. And that's the same moss that I think I showed you in the algae turf scrubber. But it has just popped up everywhere in this tank. And that was all on its own, never planted it. Okay, so I guess we can go on with the tank here. We have the Redhead Geophagus, Redhead Geophagus Geophagus. They're a great little cichlid to have. They're South American. Back in here, that is a male Australian red claw. Let's see if I can't get their attention. Normally they'll come out and see me. but we are here rather late, and the lights are normally off. We've got a female back there as well. Let's see, this tank, right now we've got some orange Rio Tetras. They're back there in the back, hiding behind the Java fern mats. Here they come. Yeah, they see me now. All coming forward, wanting to see what's going on. It was a busy weekend, so a lot of our fish were kind of heavily picked over. This
Well, that's a
tank
good
here,
thing, right?
I think, is empty. This one here, we got Buenos Aires Tetras and Colombian Tetras and Crebenses. The Crebenses typically habitate in a hut there and do rather well. It looks like we had a migrant make his way over to the next tank. It's one of the problems we have with these systems, so we got to be real careful what fish we put over here. Up right by that white flow tube, there's a little hole there that the fish can manage to get through. And so we just got to make sure that we don't mix fish right next to each other that will kill each other. This one, it was a fish, we sold him. But this system here that I just showed you, that is pretty much our aggressive fish, aggressive community fish. We have some that have gotten over here that we ran out of room. I believe this is a silver tip tetra, the last one of a batch we had in there. And a green Aeneas Glory back there, he's also the last one. And then that looks like another Redhead Geophagus, Redhead Topahos. Here's more of the silver tips. And the Cristilla maxillaris tetras. We've got them back there with the different plants we've got.
The plants are all looking
Surfeit
great.
tetras. Yeah, this is a shipment that just came in. Those are all Rotala there. You can see that there's some left over from the last batch that already.
Did he freeze?
Looks like it. I was waiting to see if it was here or there.
Take that.
Sounds like they're
I'll
preparing.
have to flip the camera on it. Like that.
Yep, sounds like they're switching cameras.
Yeah. He got quite a bit further this time. I'm wanting to see what's back in the libraries. I've got to go in Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's weird because he never froze on my stream.
Oh God. Jesus. Good thing I put my shirt back on. I got hot in it.
Okay, so. Oh, I just turned it off. I'm looking for volume.
We're good. Here, face. There we go.
Okay. Volume.
Volume and picture are good.
You're good. Do you have the Apple headphones?
No.
The old, oh,
Just regular Bluetooth.
that's as loud as it goes. I apologize.
Yeah, it's good. We can hear you.
Okay, guys. We got it set back up. We're on Ethan's phone here. So we're going to pull a few people when they hear my voice and see Ethan's name up there. So we got the Serpe Tetras, the Silver Tips. I'm going to kind of just run through what we've got here. That one I'm pretty sure is empty, except maybe a Placo hiding.
No, I saw a little fish in there. That wasn't a Placo.
Oh yeah, okay. What do we got here? That will be a longfin cherry barb female. Down here we've got this larger one coming up right behind the plant. Is a Geophagus Weinerleri. Hard one to say. He's the last one of the group. We're waiting to get more on him. This one here, we've got a Paraplaco. It's a L075. They've got the beautiful leer tail in the back. We've got cherry barbs. Rosy neon barbs. So that's all one system there. Then what we call system 1 here. We've got a lot more plants. We've got the honey gouramis here with the Rotala walichi.
Nice.
Let's see. Looks like red-eye tetras in here. They're hiding up and back. That is a Bobitis broadleaf Java fern back there. You see and some wisteria. Kabomba, another real good plant, and some glow light tetras here. More of the Bobitis Java fern. And down here we've got and I know Bob's a Placo nut, so we've got the Colombian spotted Placo in L165. There's a few of them in there.
Okay.
And let's see, those are with the head and tail light tetras and the elegans cories down here at the bottom. Let's see, a few of the crypts here. The Wendettis, we've got the green, brown, and the red. The ones we've got there. Water Sprite, Tiger Lotus, and you'll see those kind of just stuck everywhere. And let's see, more general crypts. The Ludwigia.
That's a pretty plant. I like that one.
Yeah, I do.
And let's see, I'm gonna come over here if I can figure out where I put it. And let's see if this is going to work with Ethan's camera. Yep, sure does. Okay. So without it, it just wouldn't look right here. This is the coral tank. This is really my bread and butter at the store. What allows us to keep the doors open. And I'm going to adjust some of these fans here to where I can show it from the top water. A few of these are marked as they're already sold. Let's see, still blowing up there. Okay, so the water will calm down here. All kinds of just different corals, mushrooms, SPS, LPS. Don't do a whole bunch of the SPS, mainly Montiporas. You just have too many issues. Our lighting just isn't correct for Acropora. But you'll see a lot of Montiporas, and I know a lot of you guys are all freshwater. So this really isn't your thing, but if you are saltwater.
I don't have a saltwater tank, but I love seeing the corals.
But
so.
yeah, as Ethan says, it's still pretty to look at. The fish in here, they're my gimbal light's doing this to me. it decides it wants to just give up. But it doesn't drop the phone, just sends everybody for a headache. The fish in here, all real outgoing. Pajama cardinals, some chromis, a couple yellow tangs, and then this guy, where is he? Yeah, there he is. That's a file fish. We're just playing around with him, see how he do in the tank. And he's very outgoing, and
I love
he will bite the tar out of you every
Yep.
time you reach in the tank. And it feels like a mosquito bite, guys. It kind of hurts. I don't. If you look under that rock shelf right there, you might see a little movement. That is a Sally Lightfoot crab.
Oh, yeah.
She's wondering why the lights are still on. Oh yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. So we got a pistol shrimp. Stays right here. And there he is. Yeah, there he goes. He's hitting. Those clicks you hear, those are him hitting this stick. Actually, he's just hitting the air. He's missing the stick.
He's saying, leave me
I
alone.
love this little guy. He's fun to play with. He hates anything by the entrance to his cave.
I need him.
And walking over here, get from this side. Got a little coralline algae over here we got to get off. But these are Harlequin shrimp. Let's see if I can get a good angle on them.
And those guys are beautiful.
They don't like me over here messing with them. What I'll have to do before we end the stream, I'll bring them a starfish. And I'll be able to get them pulled out that way. Get 'em out in the
Hashtag
open.
save the starfish.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the only thing they eat.
They eat, yeah.
And if you take on the responsibility of housing these animals, you have to feed them. So sometimes it's not fun feeding them a live starfish, but it's just part of it, unfortunately. Other ones over here, these are some zoanthids, utter chaos. They just beautiful, beautiful coral. And we'll move on into the, well, get rid of this filter. And I'm going to get back to this table where we did have one small shipment of wood. Now we've got a very large one that has come in. And I've had to add quite a bit of space here. But some just stunningly beautiful pieces. Some of them you don't want to put in your Bettas tank, that's for sure. But others just perfect for a Bettas with no sharp edges or anything like that. But it's a combination of Pacific wood, Congo wood, black forest. That would be this darker. This big piece here is the extra large Congo. And of course we've got more up there as well. So Rob's got wood. Was that bad? Okay, we'll move over to the second tank I did here. This was, I got to pick on Flu Ball here. This is a absolutely beautiful tank setup. The tank itself is kind of 3D. It's on its own stand. But I'm going to take this light off of here just a second. So this is what it looks like when you have the tank. I added that light just for extra lighting in there and to light up the sticks. But when you pull the cover off, you'll notice that opening right there. It's about 8 inches by 6 inches, maybe 5 by 8. And that is your only access into this tank. This is a permanent seal.
Oh, wow.
Whoever designed this tank, I'm shocked they still have a job. And I asked my Fluval representative about this, and he told me it was their best-selling tank. I was shocked. And I asked him, I said, have you had anyone buy 2 of them? And he wasn't able to answer that question. But so yeah, I've got one for sale at a hefty discount. Not this one, of course, but so I'll go into the scaping of the tank. I kind of got a little inspiration from Joey with DIY. He had a tank where he had some fake-looking trees, or not fake-looking, real-looking fake trees in there. So I got some driftwood. I kind of did the same thing. But in order to keep a piece of wood from floating up when you're holding it vertically, you've got to fasten it down. So underneath, and you can kind of see it here, I've had one fall over. It's a sheet of acrylic that the pieces of wood are screwed to. The intention was to do it as one big sheet, but with the way that tank was set up, I had to do it in small sections. These 3 are on one, that one's on one, and then these 2 back here are on their own. But
Rob,
that keeps
which
the
Fluval is
look
that?
of the trees. We've got a Crenum calistratum back there. Real hard to get nowadays. I think we really rated the natural environment trying to get these things. And aquacultured ones are the only ones you're probably going to see from here on out.
Rob, which Fluval is that?
What's that?
Which Fluval is that? Stephen P's asking.
Let's see. That is this one here. In fact, it's so bad I even have it turned sideways. It's the Fluval Edge 12 gallon.
Edge. Okay.
I love their other tanks, but really that one, someone was high that day. Their other tanks, yeah, they're great. I love those. In fact, even Aquatop's copying them now, doing the same thing with the bow front. That's their version, and they're actually getting pretty good. So I think we did the rocks a little bit. I'll go over them as well one more time. This rack was wanted something to where I could display the rocks and people could get up there and get to them. And this was kind of my solution. Worked real well. I'm working on getting new varieties in here, as anyone who owns a fish store who has been in a fish store lately, the variety of aquascaping rock is very low. It's just because we can't get our hands on it. But I see Ethan over here looking at one, and this is the one I'm trying to get right now.
You need to go to your local McDonald's parking lot.
And it's this rock right here. Let me turn this light off so you can, well, or turn it on. Turn it, okay, that's with it on white. I'll just turn it off. So, I don't know exactly what kind of rock this is.
Looks like some kind of an agate.
My experience with prospecting tells me it's a form of mica, which will be inert in a fish tank. But my intuition, when looking at it this way, tells me it's calcite, which is heavily calcium based. So I've yet to do a test on it, but I'm working on a source for this. And I really love this rock. I love that you can backlight it.
Put a light under it.
Put under it, backlight it, use as a background. That's the blue color, which of course overpowers the light here, but it's just a beautiful effect. But yeah, the white really shows it. But we're trying to get more of that, and hopefully we'll have it here soon enough.
I saw random legs over there.
So we'll, before I start on this room, I'm going to start on the filtration. So there's two main filters I use in this room. This is an old remainder of when we first opened, the Hikari Bacto Surge sponges. Since then, I have swapped to the Hydro Aquatics. I love these things. They're a dual filter. They have media compartments that you can open up, you can change out, put carbon in there if you want. So those are the two main filters I use, and they are all powered by air. Every single bit comes from this pipe here. I'm going to try to get down here without blinding you guys with the light, but it goes on around and goes in a full circle. Where the source of air is right here. So that one pump, it's an AP 100. It feeds the whole system and runs every one of these tanks, and can probably run twice as many with the amount of bleed off that I've got right now.
That's a quiet pump. I've never noticed it before.
What's that?
It's a quiet pump. I've never noticed it before.
Yeah, you can't really hear it at all.
AP 100.
Normally I've got the daylight to light these up, and I use the light that I normally have on these guys is lighting up that rock I just showed you. So I'm going to use the flashlight and see if I can't light up this guy. This is one we've bred here. This is a red dragon, Dumbo red dragon guppy, obviously male, and his little baby swimming around there. They're almost ready to go out for sale. Just a stunningly beautiful guppy. So over here, we call this system our oddities. Not all of them are real odd, but that's how it started out, and it's just kept its name. But certainly these are probably the oddest snail you will see in the market. The golden rabbits, they get rather large, and they have a very interesting design on the nose, and it looks like we're going to be able to get to see them here up close. It's like an elephant skin almost. And I'm going to get both hands on here and try to hold this real steady where you guys can see it. And yeah, hopefully you can see that pretty good. But they are a very, very interesting snail. Up in this tank, and speaking of snails, we got some ram's horns up here. But we've got our hatchet fish, scissortail rasboras. We have over here a very interesting species of fish. These are an endangered species, but they are a legal species to trade in. The only reason they are endangered is because they only come from a single lake in Haiti. These are the tiger limias. They are a live bearer. a great one for your tank, and they won't overpopulate like a guppy, as it's I think 10 months to sexual maturity for them. So it'll take them forever to populate your tank up. Down here we have our shrimp tank. And I'm heavily picked over on them. There's a few of them in here, mainly cherries right now. But the main thing I want to show you in the tank is right here, this moss. I do not know what it is. I have not had anyone be able to tell me what this moss is. I think it may be a submerged version of what is growing in my other tanks. Let me see if I can light it up a little, give you a better look at it. It almost looks like the Phacidens, but it's not. It's not any type of Phacidens that I've seen. And it didn't come with a piece of wood, as I've had this piece of wood for 25 years. But it's not growing on anything else but that piece of wood. So, a very interesting moss. If someone knows what that is, I would love to know. Otherwise, if you can tell me I've created my own submerged moss, I'd love to know that too.
How did you get the wood?
Down here we've got our
You didn't
cover
hear me.
tank. But like is most issues right now, very hard to come by. Looks like we got a little baby guppy in there. But hopefully I'll have 25 of those guys coming in Tuesday. Mystery snails, Japanese trapdoor snails, are female guppies. And these guys, I'll probably have to light up and see if they're out. We've got some surrender guppies here, but looks like all my crayfish are hiding right now. This has the dwarf orange Mexican crayfish. And yeah, I do believe they're all hiding. You will realize that I have a weakness for crayfish, one of my favorite critters here.
Hey, Rob, Lady Diane's asking, is that moss pieces of Marimo ball?
Yes. In the shrimp tank that was Marimo Moss ball down in there. It's probably one of the last remaining ones that I had after they locked them down. And it stayed in there. It came out of my personal fish tank before we even opened the store. So I have no concern about it. We never kept them in there for sale. So here we've got our zebra danios.
Rob, sorry, Rob. She's clarifying. Oh, she meant the moss, the mystery moss on the wood.
No, I do not think it's Marimo. So there is Marimo moss right there. That is regular Marimo moss.
Okay.
There is a little piece there that's just floating around the tank. But as far as what that is, I'm just not real sure.
Right.
Has a very interesting growth pattern to it. But yeah, if you're talking about that piece, that is, I think, a little piece of a Marimo moss ball. Down here, these are Ocelot Bumblebee Gobies. These are the true freshwater. Let's see if I can, unfortunately, yeah, it won't zoom here. Let's see if I can catch this guy here. Yeah, there we go. Get him with the black background. It'll show him a little better. But those are your true freshwaters. We have our neon tank here with one little floater. Sorry, guys, it's part of a fish store. It happens. Oh,
Yep.
Look at that. He's not floating. He's doing what neons do. They freak out, spin a few times, and yeah, he'll probably die soon. Over here, we've got some little tiny Odessa Barbs right now. Because of the price of the guys, I just buy them small and let them grow out till they get nice and red, and that's when people want to buy them. But they are a beautiful barb to have, but you do deal with some aggression. Let's see, I am empty in this tank. And here's my two little guys here.
Oh, cute.
I love these guys. These are the ropefish. Sorry, Matt. I'll try not to go up and down too much. So over here, we've got the bichers, a few rainbow fish in here. Yeah, here's one of the larger bichers coming out. Oh, and Red Oscar. He wants to say hi. He got evicted from the ropefish tank and got upgraded to the bicher tank. I don't know that he really knows what to do right now. But the bichers, I really love these guys. Over here, we've got our Dwarf Koranis. Looks like we've got some flatties in here as well. And I think we should have some Habrocious Cories somewhere. Looks like they're back there in the corner. They're a Dwarf Kory. So I'll try to hold this and not squat down too much here. This tank, we've got some various plecos in here. This is an albino bristlenose. I do believe we've got some chocolates in here as well. Yeah, I see one there on the bottom of the stick. And some Siamese algae eaters, and then just some various surrender fish that have come in. In this tank, this is a lot of the ones that I've bred. This is actually probably my favorite tank here. It's got a piece of manzanita wood in it with the gold tetras that just really make that wood stand out. And then you add in all the valve that's growing. Just an overall beautiful tank. Most of the Emlers in here are of ones that I have bred. Not all the ones that are real colorful have been bought out. So I got a lot of females left and a few of the younger males. So we'll move on down below. This is my Loach Tank, which right now I'm totally out of loaches except one zipper loach. And oh, looky there, we're going to get a surprise look at a horse-faced loach. And this is a sand tank, so you don't get much of a chance to see them. They can dig underneath the sand and they can swim underneath the sand. So they'll pop down in one area and pop up out on the other side of the tank. A very, very fun fish to catch. Over here, this is our male Guppy tank. We've got a whole variety of red flamingos. Let's see, Tequila Sunrise, green Moscows, and there's a couple Inler hybrids back in there as well.
just a general mix of the males. Oh, and underneath the piece of wood there are all the coolie loaches. So try to move gently here and not get y'all too dizzy. And we'll move to the bettas. So we keep the bettas in a system. I refuse to keep them in cups. I don't like that. They don't do well. If you and got a low power mode, but I think we'll do okay here. We'll see how it does. If nothing else, we can swap back to my phone. Maybe it'll swap to normal again. So the trick I found with that is if they can swim around and be happy, see each other, get to flex their muscles, then all of a sudden they do so much better. They look better, they're healthier, they sell. Because when you look at them, they look like this. They're out, they're swimming around, their tails are out. They're not just laying over in a cup. They're actually excited to see you. And I'm kind of glad Petco and PetSmart haven't figured that part out. Because they would sell out of Bettas. It's just dumb to keep them like that. But I'll get off my rocker there. Okay, we got more Bettas over here, and I know we're getting a little bit of a reflection. Also, a little bit of an overflow for our red claw crayfish. But he can't get over there, guys. He's well trapped. Got a rock over him. But he gets to look at the bettas and just hope, I guess. We got super deltas, half moon rosetail over here, and down we've got one down in the lower compartment. And this is a female red claw, I do believe. And I may be able to get us a look from over here. Yes, that is going to be a female, or else she would be showing the red claw right now.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll move over to saltwater. And you're wondering right here, this is our water change water for tomorrow. Tap water is getting a little cold right now, so we got to heat it up and get everything ready. In this tank right now, we've got a possum wrasse, several of these maroon white striped clownfish, cleaner shrimp. Down here we've got a little flame scallop. There's your snail back there. And there's a couple more that are going to hide. I know underneath it there is a pearly jawfish, and I don't want to mess up his cave right now. We'll move over here. We've got a chocolate clown female and a little pistol shrimp who's down underneath there, and with a Gobies down there with them. And that's another one I really don't want to mess with their tanks. Back there in the back, you can see the guy dancing left and right. If you've had a saltwater tank, you kind of know what that is. That is an Aptasia eating peppermint shrimp. Now, yeah, I'm going to skip that tank. We'll do it last. Let's just hope the battery lasts. Okay, we've got the chocolate chip starfish here. Those are there for the Harlequin shrimp, but I do sell them as well. I'm going to see if we can't get this guy out. Yeah, there's the engineer Goby. Doing just a beautiful, beautiful fish. And give him back his little rock to hide behind without crushing the little emerald crabs here. Yeah, there he is. He's out and about now. And with a little tomato clown back there. Okay, so what did we skip? This guy right here. That is a Peacock Mantis. He is the certified tank buster. He is on frozen food, so I don't really have to worry about him busting the tank. Generally, it happens when they pin their prey against the glass.
I can't believe you still have him, Rob.
But yeah, he is just totally beautiful. Just stunning.
Is that the one you had like a month ago?
Yes.
I need to get
he's been
him.
sold.
Oh, he's been
She'll
sold.
be coming to pick him up
Damn it.
here next week, I think. So
Damn
I'm going
it.
to reach in here, get his attention, so you can see he's rearing back. And yep, there he goes.
Yeah. Leave it in there.
Yeah, I won't let him get near me, but
A
he
bloodbath.
certainly wants to. So all I'm doing is just holding my finger up here, and he's very,
Get you.
very curious.
They don't call them thumb splitters for nothing.
So that pretty much completes the saltwater section. I've got a whole nother layer up above that I can build on, which is in the plans in the future. But in order to do that, it's going to pretty much mean another full-time employee. Which right now, I think everybody knows the market. It's real hard to come by. Oh, and I think I promised you guys this. So it is feeding time for the shrimp.
You called one of the
So they're gonna
betas
get
a rose
chocolate
tail?
chip starfish.
Did you say rose tail about one of the betas?
And let's see if we can't get them out. And make sure
Serial
the camera's
killer.
aimed the right way. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get the filter. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy here, guys, but this will make it so much better. Okay, so they saw it. They're coming out. Okay, let me see if I can't get one of them to come up and say hi to the camera. Yeah, here we go. So these guys are just stunning. Don't you bite me. Don't you bite me.
He thinks it's a buffet.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful shrimp.
They really are.
I wish I could get y'all a better shot of them. Oh,
Did he get you?
he just got me. Not the shrimp. I think it was the filefish. So we'll get this over here with his mate so they can both eat. And let's see if I can't give you all a shot there. But they are a fascinating shrimp. In the wild, they'll live in a cave. Typically, the starfish they go after, they'll take about 2 weeks to eat them. These guys, they're fully grown and extra jumbo, and they go through that with starfish in about 3 days. So they cost me about $75 a month to feed them, but
Wow.
it's worth it. But in the wild, they live in a cave, and they'll drag the starfish in, and you can kind of see back there, they're dragging it back into their little hidey hole. But they'll also carry in algae from the wild that they go harvest, just to feed the starfish, to keep it alive while they feed on it.
Once it's dead, they throw it away.
Yeah, yeah. As Ethan said, once it's dead, it is of no good to it.
Got a minute.
Oh, you can't.
Vicious animal.
You can't get frozen starfish.
No, they won't go after frozen. At least not in my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some more critters crawling around back here. The blue-legged hermit crabs, they're all coming out. Normally they're not out with the lights on, but they know it's pretty late. And I think they've got a body clock just like we do.
Harlequin shrimp, bunny viper.
Holy cow! It's 9 o'clock already.
Yep. Is Kenny going? I hadn't seen a link for him. In here, I mean.
Yeah, he is.
Maria said, "Oh my God."
I think Ethan's over here cringing as I lift the phone over my
no.
tank.
It scared me earlier when we were.
Oh, I bet. Scared me.
Does anybody have any final questions or comments for Rob? And guys, what he's not showing you is all of the other product he's got, all of the other things you can't find anywhere else. And if you had that, you could do that. Well, he's got it.
Okay, so here's Clamps.
Oh, he's pretty. Look at that blues and stuff in him.
He's gotten huge.
She's sitting at about, probably 8 inches. And she's got at least 3 or 4 inches to go. Her boyfriend, he's down right here. Unfortunately, we can't see him right now. But he'll get at least 3 inches larger than her. So they are a monster animal to have. And that's a 40-gallon sponge filter back there. If anyone's familiar with those, just give you some scale. Maybe, yeah. So I'll put my hand back there. They're just freaking huge.
Put it in there and she'll pinch you.
Oh, yeah, I won't reach my hand in there. I don't know if you can see those claws. They are needle sharp. They will pierce the skin.
Yeah.
So, anyone got any questions for us? Snaggle.
What do you feed the crayfish?
Oh.
What do you feed crayfish?
Generally, I feed them algae tablets, zebra danios. Just kidding. She can't catch them. We've never lost a single zebra danio. I have lost a couple of the embers, the ember tetras. They like to hide in the cave here, which is her cave. So they're not the smartest of fish. But they do. The zebra danios do remarkably well in here. She tried to get them for a while, but gave up on it. Okay, this is, oh yeah, here we go. She's on the treadmill. She hooks her tail. She fell over. She loves to hook her tail on the filter back there, and she'll just sit there and run in place. It's the cutest thing. But she's going to give us a little treat where I can show you guys how you can tell male. Well, I can't show you a male to compare to right now. But there is the underside of a female crayfish. And that right there at that last set of legs is where you're going to tell if it's male or female. If it's male, you're going to see a couple extra pair of legs, real small, that latch on.
Is that what's sold as a blue lobster?
What's that, Bob?
Lady Diane's asking, is that what's sold as a blue lobster?
No.
Okay.
This is an Australian red claw crayfish. Generally, in the hobby, they call them lobsters. But if it's freshwater, it is a crayfish. If it's saltwater, it is a lobster. But that's more of a general term they give them. Yeah, legal purposes. But no, the electric blue crayfish, as you know it, wouldn't even get the size of this one. Might get the size of this one is right now. Might. But I've never seen one that big. But yeah, they are a totally different crayfish. These are from Australia, and just like anything else from Australia, it's either poisonous, gigantic, or bites. Oh, and jumps.
Or all of the above.
Not to be missed. Rob, thank you. That was a great tour. Awesome.
Well, absolutely. I'm kind of glad we had Ethan here as a backup. I'd really like to say thanks to him.
Thank you,
There
Ethan.
she goes, back for the treadmill. She's going to make it this time.
I hope she does. That's cool. I saw her one
there
day.
she goes.
Yeah.
Time to run in place.
She's crazy.
I guess we all got to get our exercise sometimes, and I'm so trying to get her a bigger tank right now.
What size tank is that again?
She's in a 33 long. I'm working on getting a Zoom Ed low boy for her, which is a 50-gallon, 2 foot by 4 foot by 1 foot tall.
She'll love that.
Oh yeah, and I don't need the water depth, but I need the foot room for her. But guys, it's been great having you here in the store. Hope I made us look good instead of making us look bad.
It was awesome.
Because I know Tammy's at home probably watching. And
If she is, she's lurking. She didn't say anything.
She wasn't horrified.
If she is, she's lurking. All right.
Yeah, she may be out right now. She's been prepping for her surgery, so.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. Well, it's great having you. And I think we got is it Daniken we're going to?
Yep, Daniken Live. And the link is there. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us.
All right.
And
Well,
special
we'll see y'all
thanks,
then.
Rob and Ethan. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, channel.
Bye, guys.